It's time for the One Bar and Lupaga Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I'm One Bar, joined with Lupagus, and today we're talking about the what-if scenario. We're talking about all this Corona, COVID shit. We need to have our eyes on the free agency.
I think you absolutely have to, because if you're already seeing, we have 10 guys already on this COVID list. If this goes into the regular season, I think you're going to see you could almost see new faces on a weekly basis. So let's just see who's out there, who the Vikings might be giving a call to if certain positions get sick. And I think we're going to start with the offensive side of the football.
Yeah, and if there was ever a year to be a free agent, this is the year. This is the year to be that guy who's 32 years old, wanting to still play in the league and have somebody snipe him up, because a lot of these guys they're gonna have no other resort.
It's also great for fans, because this is a great chance for to get guys you've always wanted to play for the Purple to show up and actually get some snaps. And you might forget about it in a couple of years, but guys you've always wanted could come home this year.
I want to be very clear. We're talking offense today, and a lot of these guys I never wanted them to be a Viking.
Wow.
There's a couple of big names out there still for free agency, but they're still free agents for a reason. So we'll find out. So let's start a quarterback. I mean,
hell yeah.
The way I see it, and before we get into this, at the positions, I mean, they're in all the meetings together. It seems like if one guy is going to get it, they're all going to get it.
Yep.
So there could just be straight up, you got two new running backs right off the bat or something. It's going to be crazy.
Straight Up is also one of my favorite Paul Abdul songs. Yeah, and that's why, here's my thought. If Cousins is sick and Mannion's sick, you might as well just say, fuck it, let's have some fun. Let's give Joe Webb a call, bring him back, one last hurrah, let him run around there, sling that football. He led us that dramatic win on the Tuesday night game when the Metrodome roof caved in. We had to play in Philadelphia. You know what? Joe Webb, come back one more year. Why the hell not?
Wow. Where was he last? The Bills?
I think Texans? I don't know. He keeps hanging around there.
I think he's been around a while. But you know what? That would be disgusting. That would be neck and neck with Sean Mannion. But my guy is also disgusting. The quarterback free agency, not a ton to go off of there. I am going Blake Bortles style. Hopefully we're getting that Blake Bortles from 2015 where he had 35 touchdowns, 18 interceptions. Blake Bortles can come out, whip that thing around, and Blake Bortles in purple. Whew, brings a tear to my eye.
I'd rather have Blake Brandel play quarterback.
Hey, Blake Bortles, he was horrible, but there's not much out there for free agent quarterbacks.
I just think it'd be a lot of fun to have Joe Webb back, see what the old man can do, let him run around, make shit happen, and you might as well tank at that point.
Well, you don't think Blake Bortles would be considered tanking at that point?
Oh, he'd definitely be tanking. Definitely.
Maybe a year on the bench, a couple years on the bench. Maybe he's ready to come back. He's going to put it all together.
I'd be shocked. I'd be very shocked. Let's move on to running back. And here's a position where I think the Vikings actually, they're very, very deep. You got Alexander Madison, Mike Boone, but like you said before, the quarterbacks, if one guy gets it, these guys are all in the same meetings. There's a good chance someone else will get it. It'll get passed on. Who you got? Who would you give a phone call to if, the Vikings suddenly got very, very thin at running back?
Well, there's certain positions here. I just have them going for that old crafty vet, somebody that's done it, somebody that's still doing it. I have them actually giving old LaShawn McCoy a jingle. Last year with the Chiefs, he only started 9 games, but when he was out there, for the old feller that he is at running back, he didn't do too damn bad, averaging 4.6 yards a carry, had 465 yards, had 4 touchdowns. So I'm going with the crafty vet at running back with LaShawn McCoy, and I would be very excited. It'd be like when the Vikings brought in Roger Craig at the very end of his career.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ben Tate.
No, Ben Tate did not pan out, but I was very excited about that.
Yeah, I'm going with another veteran, an old man. I'm going to go with beast mode, Marshawn Lynch. Why not? Let's put beast mode in purple, let him run wild, let him go up the middle, grind out those tough yards. There's a good chance, maybe Madison, Boone, one of those two guys are healthy. So, beast mode would be your number 2 back. It'd be fun. It'd be fun to say a couple years down the road, hey, remember when Marshawn Lynch played for the Vikings? He'd be like, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. It was like when Barry Word came and played for the Vikings. Yeah, Marshawn Lynch, I think he's just going to continue to sign with, what was it, the Raiders, Seahawks again every year at the last couple of games. So I don't think he'd be interested.
Oh, he'd be interested. All right.
Beast mode. Let's go to wide receiver. We currently have a fairly young wide receiver core.
Yeah, and again, there's probably someone you could pull out the practice squad for this, but I'm going to go with a veteran. I'm going to go with Taylor Gabriel from the Bears. First of all, he's had some good games against the Vikings, so get him off the Bears. He's only 29 years old, still fairly young. He had 29 receptions, 353 yards, 4 touchdowns last year. And you got to look at who was throwing him the football. Mitch Trubisky. Oof. And who's the other piece of crap to play for the Bears last year?
That's not polite.
He makes a lot of money. I think he's in Detroit now. I can't think of his name, though. But he beat the Vikings. He did for damn sure.
Chase Daniels.
Yeah. And now imagine him playing with Kirk Cousins. I mean, Gabriel could be pretty damn good. I think that would be a hell of an addition. He's a good route runner. He could be fairly productive here.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty surprised he's still a free agent because he could play. I liked him. I'm going the Joe Webb route this time. I'm calling up Jarius Wright. I'm begging him. I said, come on, man, come back to the purple. We love you. He's been in Carolina the last couple of years. Didn't really do a ton. 43 receptions in 2018, 28 receptions in 2019. But he's a guy, like I said, we got a young receiving core. He's a vet. He knows the Vikings. He knows his team. He could come in, be a leader if we needed that. And you damn well know every third down he is going to get you a first down.
I was just going to say that he is your third down specialist. That's what he's there for. That's what he's born to do. And everybody knows it's coming. I mean, third down, 3rd and 5, it's going to Jarius Wright. Yet, no one could stop him.
No one could stop him. Nice little slant. Boom. Done. Oh.
Every time. All right, let's move on to tight end. And this is a very deep position. You probably have enough on the roster where you wouldn't need to go the free agent route. But just in case the whole entire tight end core got sick, who would you call?
Well, it might be deep, but if Big Stinky Irv gets hurt, you got Kyle Rudolph, who's no spring chicken, and you got a couple of guys that are unproven. So you're much higher on this tight end group than I am.
I don't know if there's a deeper one in the NFL.
I think it's very top heavy. I'll give you that. I'm going with an old fart again, 35-year-old Mr. Delaney Walker. Delaney Walker rips shit up when he's healthy. That is the key. Last 2 years, he has played in 8 games, and he cannot stay healthy. But when he's healthy, he is a big old target. He's very fast still at the age of 35. I shouldn't say very fast. He's still got some speed at 35, and I would love to see him in purple if we had to.
I'd bet you $100 I could beat Delaney Walker in a 40-yard dash.
I don't think you could beat Blake Brandel in a 40-yard dash.
I'm faster than you think. I'm kind of going the Jarius Wright route on this one. I'm calling a familiar face, and I'm calling David Morgan. As long as he's healthy, the Vikings are familiar with him, know what they're getting. He's only 27 years old, which I thought was shocking. He's had some back issues, so I don't know where his health is, honestly, to be, if he's not healthy, whatever. But if he is healthy, the Vikings know what he brings. He's a good blocker. He can get open, make some catches when you need him to. He's a familiar face, and, they know what they're getting. So I would give Dave Morgan a ring. Why not?
He might not answer. You need to be prepared.
Probably because he didn't pay his bill.
Yeah, it's too bad that he got hurt. He was a fun guy to watch, good blocker, and in a pinch, he'd get you a nice 13-yard catch.
He would. One catch for 13 yards, but he would catch that one target every damn time.
Yeah, and his beautiful locks would be flown off the side. Let's go to offensive line, offensive tackle to start. You go first.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Cordy Glenn. 30 years old, 95 career starts. He's 6'4", 345 pounds. You got to plug somebody in off the street at left tackle. I don't know if you can find a better option than Cordy Glenn. Former Bengal, so, I know he wasn't there with Zimmer. He's on the Bills too, but I think this is one guy, if you really got desperate and he was available, I think he would play pretty solidly for you.
Yeah, I have Cordy Glenn as well. There's not a ton out there as far as offensive tackle. He's a very, very good pass blocker still. Not so great against the run. But Cordy Glenn, something tells me he's just throwing out a big old price out there that people don't want to pay because he can definitely still play. Kind of like Delaney Walker. This dude just, if he's healthy, he's fantastic. But he last 3 years, 2 of those years, he only played in 12 games. So he needs to stay healthy. But Cordy Glenn would be, he would probably be almost an upgrade over Mr. Reef.
Can you name one other person in the world named Cordy?
Cordy Feldman.
That's Corey Feldman.
Close. No, I cannot. And I remember, I think it was like 2011 or 2012. I wanted this guy. I wanted him bad. I think, what are you going, second round?
Yeah, I think he did.
Really wanted Cordy Glenn.
He was way better than everybody thought too. So
yeah, he was one of those guys. He was kind of a late riser. All of a sudden, everybody wanted him.
Yeah, I'm an early riser.
Well, it's good to start the day nice and early. I'm guessing
right.
I'm going to go ahead and guess we have the same guy at guard again.
No way in hell.
All right. Well, a guard, I'm going old school. I'm saying screw it. Our guards suck. They don't even have COVID. I'm just calling you anyways. Josh Klein, please come to the Vikings. Thank you. Wham bam. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I also had Josh Klein. He never should have been cut. There's 2 factors though. One, is he pissed off at the Vikings for letting him go?
No.
I could definitely see him having a very, very hard feelings. And then, does he want to play? The guy had a couple of concussions last year. Maybe he thinks, you know what, it's not worth it. If those 2 factors, if those 2 things aren't an issue, then yeah, bring him back. But definitely, why would you not? He's already been here. He knows the system. He knows the players. It makes perfect sense.
Makes perfect sense, but I do not think he's pissed at the Vikings. I think this was some sort of injury issue. Something isn't right. I mean, he's got the concussion background, but it would be great to have him back. I can't see any other reason why he wouldn't be back unless there was something they're just not saying. So who knows? I'd love him back. I'd love him back so much.
I think we all would.
It's just a mystery. It'll be on the next episode of Unsolved Mysteries. Josh Klein.
They need a host. They needed a host. I can't believe it was hostless. There was no intermittent segments. A lot of stuff was missing there.
I actually appreciated the fact they didn't bring a host back. Robert Stack, nobody can live up to him. Whoever the host was, it would have been a letdown. So
I think you should have gone with the woman.
They should have done the hologram just of Robert Stack.
Yeah, like Tupac when they run back to that one concert.
Ooh, speaking of concerts, next position, center.
I can do with concerts.
I don't know, but center, who do you got? Or no, I'll go first. I'll give you first. Centers, free agency centers right now are crap. There's nothing there. So basically, if the Vikings had an issue, they'd have to move some people around. Luckily for the Vikings, they have some guys that can play guard, that can play center. But I will go with Justin Britt. Justin Britt played his whole career in Seattle. Again, another guy. Huh?
Britt the Tit?
Britt the Tit. Another guy that, he started 86 games during his career. Seattle moved on from him, and he's a free agent, and he's, he doesn't play very nice. He's kind of angry out there, which I love. And worst came to worst, we could sign him, and he'd be all right.
You know what I still hear in my head when I think about it? The day they drafted Justin Britt, your giggles were so loud and so deep and so much from the heart. You said that was the worst pick ever.
I don't remember what round that is. I'm going to look that up, but I think it was
like round 2.
Yeah, I think it was a little too early for Mr. Britt.
Well,
I was proven wrong. He was actually pretty good.
He was. The call I'm making is not to somebody on the free agent wire. The call I'm making is to a guy in the practice squad, and I'm calling Jake Lucina. I think maybe in a regular season, normal preseason, he makes the final 53. This year, I think he's destined for the practice squad. He's got no NFL experience. But again, if you're getting to the point where you need to call Jake Lucina, your season's probably already in the shitter. Might as well bring this kid in, let him learn on the fly. D2, this guy's got a ton of experience playing center. He's done his entire career. He was a Remington Award winner. You might as well bring him in, see what he's got, and see if he's somebody you can bank on for the future. Because personally, I'm kind of high on this kid. Not just because he's Corbin's son. That is a plus, but that's not the only reason. I think he just understands position. He's got plenty of experience playing it, even at the D2 level. He's who I'm looking for. I'm not going to bring in a free agent. I'm going to call Jake Lucina, who I think will be on the Vikings practice squad.
I got Jake Lucina as a dark horse to actually make the team. He's one of those guys that can play guard, play center. Our backup center situation is, yes, it could be Pat Elflein or Bush Jones, but there's not anybody really there that makes me feel good. And I love Jake Lucina. I love him a lot more than I should. And Justin Britt was a second rounder. You're right.
I thought he was. He
was pegged to be like a fourth or fifth rounder.
What year was that?
I don't know. 2012, I think, maybe.
Oh, jeez. We are so freaking old. All right, so that's who we got. Those are our COVID replacement options for the offense.
Yeah, so long story short, hopefully nobody gets overly sick. I should say just test positive, because there's not a ton out there. It's not great.
But at the same time, this is something we really got to be ready for, because if the NFL does go ahead with the season, it could be – I don't want to say a mess, but it's going to be – you could have almost a completely different roster from one week to the next. Just because you don't know who's going to be healthy, who's not going to be healthy. It's going to be a crazy year. I don't know. Will it be a fun year? Maybe. It might be some really bad football. It might be XFL level football at times.
Oh, geez, watch your mouth. And there's even free agents already opting out. Earl Warford already opted out of the season. So
an undrafted rookie opted out. Did you see that?
Yeah, and I respect that.
He gets no money. He's working at Hardee's down the road. All right. Can you hear me? I think I turned my mic off.
I can hear you.
Oh, thank God. All right. So before we give you your fact of the day, remember, always keep that skull in your hole. And remember this: snails have 5 assholes.